Fritzy just sent me the least deserving Heisman winners.
It's a little mean-spirited.
Do we want to do that today? It's kind of... I mean, I don't mind being on the list if I won a Heisman Trophy. Doesn't it feel like whenever somebody says, well, he's no Gino Torretta? Like Gino Torretta won... He wasn't the best player on his own team. Miami in 92. But if I'm looking at this list here, it feels like Jason White. Doesn't he come up? Is he tops on the least deserving Heisman winners?
He's right up there.
Is this list, though, tainted with the fact that they didn't have great pro careers, and that seeps into what they did in college?
Yes.
Because Jason White crushed it.
But Paul Hornung's on this list, and Paul Hornung, the Golden Boy, although he never deserved that. They won, I think, 2 games that year at Notre Dame. They were 2-8, and he won. Jim Brown, Paul Hornung should have run to give the Heisman to Jim Brown that year. Man. Yeah, I forgot all about. I mean, Jim Brown was great. He finished 5th in the Heisman that year. Let me see. Gary Beeben at UCLA, 1967. I remember watching Gary Beeben. Archie Griffin, 1975. Arch won it back-to-back years, 74 and 75. But I'm always curious. I thought Ricky Bell, USC, deserved it one of those years. I thought Ricky Bell was awesome. He had almost 2,000 yards. He was great. So Ricky Bell lost to Archie Griffin. The following year, he lost to Tony Dorsett when Pittsburgh won that national title there. Gino Torretta is on there. I'm always curious who lost in these, like Marshall Faulk, right? But wasn't Marshall a freshman that year? And that would drive me crazy. Well, you can't give it to a freshman.
That's right.
I was like, is he the best college player in America?
He had 350 yards in a game as a freshman.
Yeah. Marshall Faulk deserved the Heisman Trophy. Eric Crouch at Nebraska when he won. He was really good. I mean, there was a Manziel feel to Eric Crouch that he rushed for 1,000 yards and he threw for 1,500 yards. I mean, Rex Grossman. Did Rex Grossman finish runner-up for the Heisman that year? Does that sound right? Yeah, Paul.
Eric Crouch got helped out because he had a great moment. He caught a touchdown pass for a long play and also had like a 95-yard scramble. He had a couple big plays on national television that put him over the top.
Mark Ingram won the Heisman. I voted for Toby Gerhart that year. Toby Gerhart rushed for 1,800 yards at Stanford, 28 touchdowns. But that, I think, is that the closest vote ever? Ingram,
I believe so.
Over Toby Gerhart?
Yeah, I think so.
But you could say that Ndamukong Suh was the best player in college football that year. Charles Woodson, when Charles Woodson won the Heisman, that's when Peyton didn't win it. Charles Woodson got it. Trying to think if, Charles Woodson, they're both Hall of Famers, if you're factoring that in. Like Tim Brown won with Notre Dame in 1987. I guess he's also on that list. Trying to think who else. Lorenzo White at Michigan State. Craig Ironhead Hayward at Pittsburgh. They were really good. Thurman Thomas at Oklahoma State was really good that year. But Jason White, I don't know if he's probably number one on the list. He won it at Oklahoma. Larry Fitzgerald and Eli Manning, those were the guys who were competing. I'm trying to think if there was... we didn't know how great Larry Fitzgerald was. If we looked at it now, looking back, you'd go, well, you'd give it to Larry Fitzgerald. He's a Hall of Famer. Yeah, McLevin.
Now, my system argument comes in with a lot of these guys, starting with Jason White. First of all, he was doing against Big 12 defenses. He had 40 touchdowns and 10 picks, but in that offense, everybody did. They were churning.
Well, wait, so Baker shouldn't get it and Kyler shouldn't get it?
Well, if that's what you're saying. I'm not
No, I'm asking you.
Well, Baker and Kyler's success is big part of that's Lincoln Riley. I 1,000% convinced of that. Okay. I don't even think that's a hot take. That it can't be coincidence there were 2 Oklahoma transfer quarterbacks to win the Heisman and a third who's 4th this year. But come on, Jason White, even Crouch to some extent, Troy Smith, a lot of these guys were in these great systems, these spread offenses. I don't know if Troy Smith was actually.
Is Vince Young the best player to never win the Heisman?
He didn't win.
No. He threw for 3,000 yards. He rushed for 1,000 yards. That's when Reggie Bush beat him.
Ooh.
He had 38 total touchdowns.
For more Dan Patrick Show, tune into Audience Channel 239 on DirecTV. Stream for free on BR Live or download the Dan Patrick Show app.